Prime Minister Yatsenyuk gave a very graphic description of what's happening in Ukraine. There was a very strong feeling about the nature of the violation of the integrity of Ukraine, with particular reference to Crimea from most of the speakers who spoke there. You have the conclusions of the meeting yourself. I think it's important to note that there's a very strong message here for Russia and for President Putin that his actions in Crimea are not acceptable, are not to be tolerated, and there's a message there of the strategy and the plan to implement consequences by the European Union. There's also a message for the Ukrainian government in the context of the package put forward by the European Union and by the IMF in the context of the need for change and reform and the willingness and the support of the European Union for the Ukrainian people. And there's also a direct message to the Ukrainian people in respect of further contacts between Europe and Ukraine with visa liberalisation and so on. So there was a full discussion at the first portion of the meeting where the Ukrainian Premier spoke, and subsequently an around the table discussion from the leaders. All 28 were there. I think it speaks of the importance of this. Nobody wants this to disintegrate into very serious and potentially catastrophic situations. So we want to move on in building relationships with both the Russian Federation, negotiations to open quickly with a contact group on which the European Union would be represented, and it's in the statement there that they would expect these negotiations to open quickly and conclude within a limited time frame. The Prime Minister of Ukraine made 3 requests for people to talk to President Putin directly, for the referendum to be called off, and for the Russian government to speak to the Ukrainian government.
Do you think Russia will in fact leave Crimea?
I think this is a very complex situation, given the nature of the constitution of Crimea, given the fact that while we were meeting, there were 2 changes made to the date of the referendum, and a decision of the Crimean Parliament in respect of their wish to join Russia, and the nature of the question to be put forward in the referendum. The European Council would feel that this referendum is illegitimate and illegal, and is not a valid referendum. So the mood around the table was one of great concern, I have to say.